Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain, back for some more Dungeons & Dragons Online. So for this video here, it brings us back out to the Sharn docks. Now you can access this location either from your Sharn boarding pass if you happen to have one, or of course from the Sharn itself. Once here, you want to progress through. We're on this quest here from Enil, so we're gonna go ahead and pick that up there. And this quest, again, we just head back to the wharf side access, and we'll be able to port right into the quest. Now the quest here, there are a few optionals in this one which do make the quest a lot longer than it needs to be. Some of which actually don't even count as an optional, and I will point one of those out there for you. Alright, so the first thing we'll do here is we'll get our hireling going. Now as you see, we are getting a little bit of XP out of this one compared to the last one. But again, it is a little bit longer of a quest. Not that it's a difficult quest per se, just again, it takes a little bit of time. So as you see, my map here is already cleared as I am just running to refamiliarize myself with it. So as you're going, you'll also find these little notes. There are 5 total. They are in set locations, so if you do remember where they are, you'll be able to go ahead and grab them. Alright, so once we're in, we do want to progress through the little town. Every now and then it will jump up with a group of guys like this. And as you can see, again, this one brings out our source sleds, so you know that at some point, we'll definitely be using those. And boy, will we ever be using those. Alright, so once we've defeated that first wave, we're going to come across these 3 doors here. Now inside of one of them, there will always be a crest. This is about the only crest that has a specific static location. And again, it would just be within one of these here. You are going to need, as you see, a total of 4 crests. The other paths, as Z-Bub is opening up the doors, are just dead ends there. Now, from this location here, we are going to head down. And then we just need to head straight back out. Alright, so I do want to point out the door that's right here. This is an optional path. It is a lot longer than it needs to be, and only really has a chest in the end. It takes a decent amount of time. Totally not worth it if you ask my opinion. But of course it is extra kills and extra loot. So from here, we actually did get another crest here on the bottom. Typically speaking, those crests are all going to be up top. But just keep your eye out as you are progressing through the area. Now in here, you'll also notice we got an iron key. If I do remember correctly, that is for the water purification subsystems back there. That optional. So at this point, as you can see, you can head around the corner here. You've got a small group, nothing major. Go. So you have a small group here, but again, if we head south, which is the direction we need to head for the quest itself, there will be a few additional enemies. So yes, as you see, our event is still going on. For us, it is still just day 2. So that's why we're still seeing these here. Alright. Now, one thing to point out, near the water here, there can be a crest down in the water, but you do want to make sure that you pull this lever right here. And then we're going to need a second lever, which will be by our door right here. Once both of them are pulled, we will be able to head through our gate and continue on. Now, if you recognize this location, that is because it is where our last quest, where the end fight was. Also notice right up there, we have a beautiful crest that obviously it will not let us get just yet. Gonna hide around the corner, that kind of stung a little bit. Alright, so we got one up there where the gargoyle is. Alright, so again here, just like the last quest, we do have a set of shrines just kind of down here, kind of safely tucked away.
This group looks far more determined to stop you. You must be getting close. You will
Alright, so once he's defeated, we can talk to Trillin. And he's going to mention about the source sleds. So this is where we can actually start picking up the source sleds, which will allow us to head up and get these other crests. Now, if we head further south here, we can actually sneak around the edges. And here's our another crest right here. So yeah, so the crests themselves kind of have random spawning locations. Again, that first one is inside the door, but aside from that one there, it's kind of anyone's guess as to where they're going to spawn. A lot of times they're up top of these buildings, but as you saw, we did get a few along the way. Alright. Now, at the very far side here, up at the top, we do have a lever, which you can pull. That'll actually open up for a chest on another building top here. Kind of it opens the gate for you. But at this point, it's kind of a backtrack all the way to that crest, which in this case is up here. There we go. So you can explore this area. There's a lot to see, a lot of interesting design, and again, there is that hidden chest, which you need that lever to pull. Now, once you have all the crests, all that's left is to actually head through this section here, placing the crests in, incoming enemies. And because we still do have the source, oh, our source sled has run out. That is right. Alright, so here we go. Yeah, it's I did remember that there after the fact. So yeah, as Z-Bub was saying there, once you kind of cross the threshold, regardless of how much time you have left, you'll see 4 minutes, cross the threshold, immediately gone. So here, as you see, we got kind of a bunch of guys. We got a few rally participants. They are frozen again. And again, same thing on this side here as well. And that's how you rescue them. As you see, our objective. Now we need to head down here, and it will be our end fight. So just like so many times before, it locks you in. And just really let loose and just go ham. As you see, it doesn't have a very large hit point pool, 15,000, but again, that is a decent amount of hit points. And there he goes. Once he's down, again, just continue on in.
Torture equipment and strange machinery fills this room.
And we never searched his apartment. Yeah, so there's a nice little mall that you can get from here. Alright, so one thing we did forget was to actually properly search the apartment. That was our bad, so you'll be able to see it here. You got the dwarf community. It's the West Side Commons. So right here at the very, very beginning, right off to the north, you have his apartment. So for that, obviously, unfortunately, because we do not have Dimension Door, it's a little bit of a run. But yeah, typically you would do that right at the beginning of the quest. Right, yeah. So again, I do apologize for that. It will also give you a little bit more information as you are going through. But yes, you'd want to head right there from the beginning, go into his apartments, actually investigate the apartments, which is super simple. But again, you just gotta remember to go in from there, you want to make your way around the whole complex, collect the crests. Finally, you're going to want to kill the boss. And that, when you kill the boss, that should be the end of the quest. But, again, we never searched the apartments. Alright, so the other thing to point out, you'll notice this giant manufacturing construct. Now this guy here, if you actually like head back into this path after leaving, that's what causes this one here to spawn. So due to the fact that, of course, we actually came in here and did that, as you see, not a lot of XP. A lot of the extra optionals in here just aren't worth the time. As you see, 278 experience again. Honestly, kind of garbage for XP amount. Alright, so here. Alright. So now that we're finally back right near the beginning, again, if we would have had Detour, that would have been so much nicer, but c'est la vie. So yeah, from this section here, we do want to head north, and there's just a couple of objects there, so you just torn page, you can go in the door here, there's a note, and as you see, there's really not much. But yeah, you do need to come north and interact with that torn page. That's when you'd want to complete the rest of the quest. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been a blast, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one, all.